I know that you are currently looking at a lab setup. We're going to be doing lab first, and then I'm going to go over a couple of things with you. So first of all, I hope you guys are doing well. Please give me a hello or something if you can see me. Not see me, hear me. Type something in the bar if you can hear me. I just want to make sure everyone can hear me. Okay, great. If there's a birthday in the house, happy birthday. Okay, so class is not going to be overly long today. I know you guys are excited about that. I know you can see my feed, unfortunately, the way the lab is set up. No, I'm not pranking anybody. Trust me. I'm not big on April Fool's pranks. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the lab first. And once I finish going over the lab, then I am going to go ahead and discuss a few things. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to let me know, but don't ask questions outside of the lab until we finish the lab. Okay, I don't want to break the continuity of what it is that we're doing. Okay, does that make sense? So we're going to do this lab first, and then I'm going to bring the camera back to me, and we'll discuss a few things, and that'll be the end of class. Okay? All right, let me grab my book real quick because apparently I left my book. And we're going to get started. We are doing lab 81. Okay? And we're looking at balanced forces. All right, folks. So we're doing the net force challenge, which is activity 81. By the way, just wanted to let you guys know there was a correction to activity 80. So if you already did activity 80, question 3, there was an issue that I don't know. I don't even know how it happened, to tell you the truth. But the question that I copied deleted, and then it somehow inputted the word false. So there are 3 tries to those assignments. So if you go into that assignment and you already completed it, go take a look at question number 3 and go ahead and edit the question, unless you went in and looked up the question and answered it. Okay, so looking at activity 1, what we have here, or 81, excuse me, what we have here is the block, some metal rods, a rubber band, and 2, these are called spring scales. Okay, so I'm going to move these over to the side right now because we do not need them. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at how the spring scales work. So I want to go ahead and explain that first. So here, this, I know it's very hard to read and I apologize, but this says newtons here and newtons here. Okay, on the opposite side, if you were to use it, it says grams, but we're currently using newtons. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to calibrate my scale, which is going to be hard for you to see. But I'm going to make sure that my scales are properly calibrated so that we could go ahead and do this assignment. Okay, let me check the other one, make sure it's properly calibrated. It's a good thing I checked because even though they're brand new and fresh out of the box, they were not. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're not going to move the block. The block may shift a little bit, but we are not going to move the block. Okay, we're going to pull each block going in, pull the block with each spring scale. The spring scales are going to go in the opposite direction, and we are going to pull them with the same force. Okay, so we're looking for a force of 1 Newton. I tried to get it so that you could see it, but no matter what I did, it's really hard to read them. But 1 Newton comes up to here on this spring scale and here on this spring scale. So we're going to pull, okay, the one on the left reads 1 Newton and the one on the right reads 1 Newton. So now I'm pulling them both and you can see that the block is not moving. Okay, this is called a balanced force. Okay, so what that means is when I'm pulling the spring scale on both sides and they're not moving, that is called a balanced force. Okay, so now when you're looking at an unbalanced force, you're going to see what that looks like. So here, I'm going to pull this way with a force of 1 Newton, but I'm going to pull on this side with a force of 1.5 newtons. So first, I'm going to go to 1 Newton on each side just to make sure. Okay, and you can see that it's not moving. But now I'm pulling with a force of 1.5 newtons here while simultaneously keeping 1 Newton here. Okay, and as you notice, keeping 1 Newton on one side and pulling with 1.5 newtons on the other side. And it's very hard to keep them because obviously the springs stretch. But you can see that the force is unbalanced, and as a result, the spring scale is moving the block. Okay, so that is an unbalanced force. If I'm applying a force of 1 Newton on this side, but 1.5 newtons on this side, then unfortunately, since the force is unbalanced, you're going to see the block moving. Okay, does that make sense? Do we all see the difference between a balanced and an unbalanced force? Okay, a simple yes or thumbs up or something would suffice. Make sure you guys can still hear me and that this is making sense. Can you guys hear me still? Okay, I had to pop out my chat box. I apologize because for some reason I could not see anything that was happening. Okay, all right, so back to what we're doing. So moving on, I can see your chat now. For some reason I couldn't see it before, but I could see it. So now we're doing well. Okay, great. All right, so moving on to the next part. Now so unbalanced and balanced forces make sense. So now for part C, what we're going to do is we're actually going to identify the force. You're going to use, and I'm going to just change it so that you can see it. And then we're going to put these 2 metal rods here, and we're going to secure them with a rubber band so that they don't go flying all over the place. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to look at this block that has the metal on it, and we're going to do the challenge part C. In this activity, your challenge is to decide if the forces on the block are balanced or unbalanced. So we've already unhooked the force meters and placed the 2 metal cylinders and secured them with a rubber band. You're going to practice pulling gently on the force meter so that the block slides steadily and as slowly as possible. So once it is sliding steadily and slowly, we're going to read the force, okay? So now we're going to look at the force needed to pull it steadily and slowly. So, and I'm going to put this as far to this side as possible so that you can see the pulling as much as possible. Okay? So, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull slowly and gently. For some reason, let me see if this will work. Oh, this is blocking it. I apologize. The rubber band was blocking my ability to move. Okay. So we're going to pull it slowly and steadily until we're able to trigger movement. Okay, and then we're going to read it. Now the force required here to move it is approximately 0.6 newtons, so a little bit over half a newton. Does that make sense? The camera shouldn't be glitching. The signal is great here. Were you guys able to see that? Boston, let's not post things that have nothing to do with this class. Are you not able to see anymore? It turned green. That's strange because I can see all the movement on the camera. Okay, do you guys, okay. Yeah, guys, remember this live stream is going to the public, so let's not play games with the stream. Okay, so yes, I can do it again. All right, so putting this all the way on the edge, we're going to drag it to see what the force is that it takes to move. Okay. And I'm actually getting less force now. It's taking me about between 0.4 and 0.5 newtons to steadily move the block. So about 0.4 to 0.5 newtons to steadily move the block. Okay? So, does that make sense? Okay, so the force to overcome the mass and the frictional force is about 0.4 to 0.5 newtons. Okay, so is this a balanced or an unbalanced force? Well, you guys don't have your notebooks. I'll actually be setting up a time for anyone who wants their notebook back to pick it up over the weekend. I'll set up a location and everything. But if you guys want to write notes down, you're welcome to. If you don't, remember, you can always go back and look at the video as many times as you want. And I will probably go ahead as well and document some notes to upload to EDSB so that you guys have as well. Okay, that is right. It is an unbalanced force on EDSB. So we're actually not doing data for this. This is just an observational lab. But I do post data tables on EDSB for you guys as well. Also, I will be creating some notes for you so that, once, we're starting to prepare for the test, you guys will have notes that you can refer to. So don't worry about that. Okay, but does everyone understand what we did so far? And does everyone understand the difference between a balanced and an unbalanced force? Okay, so in terms of what you were supposed to do for the activity, that was pretty much it. So I'm going to, that is correct. It is unbalanced. You're pulling it to one side. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm actually going to move the camera. So bear with me. The camera's going to be doing something wonky. And then I'm going to go over a few things with you. Okay. So now you can see me again. All right. So, ladies and gents, our notebook checks now cancel. I did the notebook checks for the third quarter. Fourth quarter, I'm not going to do a notebook check for. It's not even guaranteed we're going to return to school. So, it just depends. I'm not going to sit here and do a notebook check for a couple of weeks. That's just a waste of time. All right, a couple of things I want to go over really quick. First of all, I did notice that a few people apparently what they're doing is they're going in and they're doing random assignments and they're not looking at assignments or due dates. Okay, that's kind of a little bit of an issue because some of you did assignments that were due later, but you did not do the assignments that are due. Okay, so some, for example, did assignment 79 or 78 or 80, but did not bother to do 76 and 77. And some of you are also, you're going into the assignment after the assignment is due. Please pay attention to your due dates. I extended the time period for 76 and 77. We're not going over 76 and 77 today. We're going to go over it tomorrow. You're going to be taking a test next week. It'll be something like Thursday or Friday. So the rest of the classes that we're going to have is to go over the questions, go over content for the tests. I have to look in EDSB. I don't have my EDSB screen open right now, but 78 and 79, I believe, are due tonight, so that tomorrow it's supposed to be available to look at. 80 is due Friday. I posted 80 this morning, so it's not due until Friday. I try to give you a couple of days leeway to get the work done. But 78 and 79 have been in for a while. So you're going to, we're going to be going over those questions. I'm going to be posting review guides for you, review questions for you to do. I also posted an assignment. It is your, it's a worksheet on how to calculate force, mass, and acceleration. I gave you several days to get that done as well. But please make sure you're paying attention to when things are due. Some of you are going in and you can't get in. Does anyone have any questions? The test will probably be either next Thursday or next Friday, and I'm going to post that in Edsby. Your test is going to cover 73 to 81, I believe. Okay. Oh, thank you for telling me that, Siri. I meant to mention that to you. Analysis questions for 81. What I did was when I created 81, instead of doing it like we did 76 to 80, it's going to be something that you can do on paper and submit like you did for 75. So when you go into the activity, you'll be able to see a submit button and you'll be able to submit and upload a document. So either you do it on Word and draw your diagrams on Word. You'll be able to draw it on paper, whatever works for you, take a picture and submit. I originally was going to allow you to do descriptions, but then when I saw how many diagrams had to be drawn, that was just too much. So, okay, does that help? There is no test, it's homework. Question number 3, I mentioned it because nothing I typed had remotely anything to do with the word false. So I went in, I corrected it. So if anyone already did the assignment, go back and fix question number 3. If you haven't done it yet, it's going to be correct when you go in. So you don't have to worry about it. Okay. Like I said, 76 and 77, I changed the due date to tonight so some of you can go in and get it done. Please make sure you do the assignment. Some of you did 77, but not 76. Some of you did 76, but not 77. Some of you didn't do either of them and did 78 and 79. There's just a whole host of stuff. So please go in to Edsby, see what assignments you haven't done, and make sure they aren't due. Because once I go over the questions, I'm going to be putting a 0 in for that assignment. And I can see the submit time in Edsby, so please don't tell me you submitted it before the class. Okay, guys, seriously. Okay. Does anyone have any questions? Actually do yesterday to today for people who didn't finish them. They were supposed to be 76 and 77 was done yesterday. I already explained question 3 for 80. I've already gone in Edsby and corrected. So if you already did it, you have to go back and fix it. Okay, if it doesn't show up as correct, just send me a message, let me know, and I'll fix it. But when I went in, I already corrected it earlier this morning. It was showing up in multiple classes as corrected. Okay. Any other questions in regards to work, in regards to assignments? Please make sure you turn your stuff in on time. You guys are piling up assignments on yourselves because you're waiting until after the due date to do stuff, and then it's getting caught up with current due dates. Okay. And some of you, thank you for being on top of you. Some of you have turned in all of your assignments. So viewers are shrinking because we've pretty much gone over the lab and they've gotten all their questions answered. So also, I will be posting videos outside of the live stream. That's just to help you with materials on the test. So if you have any questions, you're welcome to let me know, and I can address them in the review. Okay. Is there anything else? All right, so if there are no, I'm going to go ahead and leave the chat up for a moment for you guys to ask me any questions, but I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. So I hope you guys have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow. And if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Some of you have noticed I have pretty much spent my life on EDSB. So, but have a great evening, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.